Ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, I'm Rob Mafia for This Is Xbox, and today we are playing a game by Deck 13 Interactive called The Surge. I'm just going to put this out there right from the start. This game has some similarities to a certain Bandai Namco title. It won't take much guessing which one, but is that a bad thing though? Well, let's find out. Right at the start of the game, you're met with the protagonist. His name's Warren and he's sat on a train watching a commercial for Creo. They're basically the company that mastermind the whole operation that promised to repair the world but haven't. Then comes a shock as it reveals that Warren is actually wheelchair bound. Your main concern then is to find the recruitment centre for Creo and to choose your archetype. It's pretty obvious though which way you have to go because disabled access in this place is just disgusting. There's two to choose from. There's Rhino, which is probably a tank, and then there's Lynx, who's a bit more agile and basically an all-rounder. This is what I chose. The operation to have your exoskeleton fitted doesn't go too well. You wake up somewhere, I don't know where, only to find out you're actually on the scrap heap being prepared for deconstruction. This brings you your main aim, and that's basically to survive. You have a lock-on style gameplay with two buttons that you use for horizontal and vertical attacks. I'm a bit of a button basher, but I did find that some sequences gave you some pretty effective combos. You have a base of operations that contains a med bay. This is where you level up your core power, equip implants that are basically buffs, and also construct armour from schematics that you collect as you move along and kill enemies. Also later on you get your very own drone, but I won't spoil that for you now. Initial NPCs are pretty easy to defeat. Well, as you level up your weapon proficiency, you get used to the controls and they become a little bit easier to outsmart. Combat is pretty good. Once you target your enemy, you can select specific body areas to focus on. The ones that have no armour on are in blue and the armoured ones are in yellow. Once you beat your opponent down so much, an X will appear, meaning you now can perform a finishing move. Once completed, then occasionally a bit of armour will drop that you can use when you've got enough to create bits of your own. At times, however, usually with boss fights, it does seem as though the odds are stacked against you just because you can't move as fast as they can. Just like the Bandai Namco title, the viewpoint can be a bit frustrating, but it's only a small gripe really. Each enemy you kill drops scrap. You collect this to upgrade your power core, upgrade your weapons and create new bits of armour. When you die, however, you drop your scraps. Does that sound a bit familiar? And then you have a limited time to go back to where you died and retrieve the scrap before it disappears. Be careful though, because once you move areas, the enemies respawn and you have to kill them again. A nice little feature, however, is the ability to bank your scrap, meaning you can save up for that special item or just blow the lot on coke and hookers. Well, not really, but just powering up your core. The rate in which you can create your armour is a little slow. Upgrading weapons has little effect too, however the weapon proficiency adds a little more damage and it does come in handy quite early on. My first boss encounter didn't go too well, so I chose to explore a little. I came across another boss that for some reason hadn't triggered when I had previously been in that area. Bosses are hard, there's no two ways about it. If you're not well equipped and don't duck and dive, then it's game over pretty quickly. Once you get into a rhythm though, and you ignore the increasing pace of your heart rate and slippery palms, you'll have no trouble. The sense of satisfaction when I downed the first boss was well worth it. Graphically, The Surge isn't going to win any awards, but it's good enough. Areas are quite small with no real exploration opportunities, but with that said, there are still a few bad guys hidden away waiting to jump out on you. Basically, yeah, you guessed it, The Surge is essentially a Souls game. There are too many similarities to ignore this fact, however for some reason I found playing Dark Souls quite frustrating, but I didn't with The Surge. If you're a fan of Dark Souls, then this is definitely worth a go. If you find Dark Souls too much of a daunting task, then give The Surge a go to ease you into that type of gameplay. When I died, it wasn't too much hassle jumping back into it and making my way to the drop scraps or having another pop at a boss. Once you get used to the combat style, you quickly become more aggressive with your gameplay and run up to enemies instead of dodging out the way. I really like the Surge and would definitely be putting more time into it. After all, I've seen what's on offer the further you get into the game. Some people though will find the repetitive enemy bashing a little tiring. This does get a lot easier as you progress and open more areas of the game. Overall, I'm going to give the Surge a very respectable 7 out of 10. I feel like I'm being a bit harsh, but I couldn't help myself but say, ooh, that's just like Dark Souls, as I was playing. Anyone who plays the Surge will see exactly what I mean. That being said, I would still definitely recommend it to you. Thank you for Deck 13 Interactive, Focus Home Interactive and Xbox for supporting Tix. I really did have a blast playing the game. Make sure you tune in next time for more reviews, streams and gameplay videos. Head to www.thisisxbox.com for more news and everything Xbox. Also there's Facebook. Also there's Facebook, Instagram, Twitch and Beam. Just search This Is Xbox and you can't go wrong. I've been Rob and I can't wait to see you next time. See you later.